I am from South London. Brixton is one of many because I grew up in different areas because I went to my nan's house, my parents' house as well, and all in the same kind of region. Why is my laptop making so much noise right now? I really don't understand, but I don't know why I was screaming for. Just shut up. Anyways, hey guys, it's Murad Murali. Welcome back to another podcast episode on hashtag I'm Over It. What are you guys saying? If you guys are watching from my YouTube channel, hopefully you guys are keeping well. Sorry, I don't know what it is, but when I film from my phone, it really does highlight the skin. Can we just get into that for a quick second? Because the skin is just like on fleek. It's just crazy. But anyway, we've got to get into this because that whole Adele stuff has been crazy in the last 24 hours. And now we have a lot of people who have spoken out and broken their silence on the matter. So that is one topic that I want to get into. And also the VMAs are in pretty big trouble and kind of addressing why and the biggest moments from that award show that I definitely did not watch, but obviously looked it up and saw what had happened. So those two are the main topics that I want to get into when it comes. And also there's a major TL debate going on as well. So just a lot to discuss when it comes to this podcast episode. Hopefully you guys are all keeping well. Make sure to subscribe, guys. If you guys are watching my YouTube channel, quick trailer for you guys, quick 3-4 minutes. Links are below. Get into the whole 20-minute episode, guys. Get into it. Okay, so Adele has been supported by supermodel Naomi Campbell, and thousands of fans have been accused of cultural appropriation for donning a Jamaican flag bikini top to mark the cancelled Notting Hill Carnival event alongside Bantu knots, with some leading it to be as insensitive. What I'm saying is the girl looked good, leave her, allow her, man. If Popcorn is going to endorse it and say, yes, my girl, you're wearing the flag and you're wearing it well, let her live her best life. Leave her alone. We love Adele. Supermodel Naomi Campbell, whose mother was born in Jamaica, commented on Adele's Instagram photo, with other fans took to Twitter to point out to Adele's critics that she was surrounded by Jamaican culture whilst growing up in Tottenham and has always been a supporter of the Notting Hill Carnival. The star was born in Tottenham before moving with her mother, Penny Adkins, to Brighton at the age of 9. In 1999, at the age of 11, she and her mother moved back to London, first to Brixton. What are you saying about Brixton? Let me just give a quick shout out to Brixton because obviously I'm from South London, and then to neighbouring district of West. Oh, she was in West Norwood as well. Are you actually mad? Which is the subject of her first song, Hometown Glory. I did not know this. I thought she was just a North London girl because everybody says she's from Tottenham. These times she's actually from South. So let's actually behave here, guys, please. Remember, Adele grew up in Tottenham, London, surrounded by Jamaican culture, wrote one, tweeter. For many kids, regardless of their family origins, it was ingrained in their language, fashion, food, not just music. With Adele, and we know it's coming from a good place with love and respect. David Lammy, Member of Parliament for Tottenham, agreed, tweeting in response, saying, Poppycock, this humbug totally misses the spirit of Notting Hill Carnival and the traditional dress-up or masquerade. Adele was born and raised in Tottenham. She gets it more than most. Thank you, Adele. We have another debate going on. To be honest with you, I don't want to comment on this because I feel like I'm not entitled to. It's not my space to have this conversation. So I'm just going to echo what people are saying, but I'm not going to really comment on it because you should know when and when not to comment on stuff that really, that doesn't or does affect you. But there are a lot of tweets saying, Black Americans are trying to cancel Adele for cultural appropriation on Caribbean people's behalf again. Some people saying there's something called cultural appropriation and this isn't it. So it really was split. But we did have a lot of people who were really going in on the fact that, we have Black Americans who have a different perception of stuff as opposed to Jamaicans or, Black British people. So it's a very interesting conversation because it's such an interesting conversation. This is what people were having, and I'm sure those who are listening to the podcast, listening to it via YouTube, you guys comment down below on what your thoughts are. Personally speaking, as I've already said, I'm not entitled, I feel like, to even comment on it. I just feel like it's not something for me to comment on. So that's not a discussion for me to start. I'm just going to echo what people were saying. Culture. She's grown up around. This is what her life was like in London, and Londoners will be able to understand this. Other cities like New York maybe will be able to have a bit more easier clarification on this matter. She grew up around Black people, whether it be Brixton, South Norwood, or Tottenham, and I can kind of relate to what people are saying about her specifically because I grew up around Black culture, whether it be Streatham, which is basically where I was born and raised in South London. Then I went to school in Croydon, where my secondary school was just a Black boy dominant school, and there was a very small minority group of brown people and a very small group of white people, and that was really it, to be honest with you. And I grew up around that from year 7 to year 11. 5 years, let alone living in South London, Streatham, and then as well as Brixton where my grandparents lived, which is again surrounded by black culture everywhere. Bang, 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 all over South. That's really where it was for me. Apart from me kind of growing up in Fulham as well a little bit, it wasn't a major impact in my life, but I was there on a weekly basis as well. And that was kind of basically the complete opposite. So you kind of observe things differently. As a Londoner, I feel like it's grateful to grow up in a city like this because you grow up in you see so many different demographics, cultures, and it's whether you choose to kind of adapt, assimilate, and learn and look around and be with and hang, or you choose to just say bye. I feel like that's just what different splits of London. Some Londoners don't really know how to. I've noticed that, but then some also do. Majority do, to be honest with you. And I feel like it's just code switching, and you naturally do it because of the people that you're around, because you've just learned from your workplaces to my tuition schools, to my secondary school, to my sixth form, to my university, to primary school. Like it's so many different demographics of people. It's such an interesting conversation. I also wanted to get into the VMAs because the VMAs is an absolute mess, guys. The VMAs, I'm so sorry. How can the VMAs go from 10 million views from the past couple of years here and there? 2013, 2014, it was like 10 million views. Now we're looking at 0.6. Not even a million views for this year's. Like, wow. Now, of course, COVID's going to have an impact on it. But at the same time, the year before was just over a million. The natural decline of award shows, I feel, is very interesting, and I feel like it's a major detriment to these award shows because the gag is nobody wants to watch 2 hours of an award show. Nobody wants to watch that anymore because we now have this kind of on-demand TV like YouTube where we can just go and watch off the performances of artists that we like. We don't want to be sitting here waiting an hour for this artist to come on, for that artist to come on. Things are changing now. I think people need to adapt. Subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll catch you guys soon for another hashtag I'm over it. I'm gonna try to get some guests on. I'm gonna try to get, more microphones, maybe set up something, create a different situation for the podcast is probably what I wanna lean to. So I need to buy more microphones, but that's probably what I'm thinking of right now. So we will just see.